Oh, hey folks! All right, we're going to do some artwork for the Crystals of Mabar adventure that we're writing for the Eberron campaign setting using Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition rules. So we've been building all the maps and token assets and all the design for the past year or so. I'm going to check my signal here real quick to make sure I'm coming through okay. I'm going to go through my intro, and then we're going to dive into this for a while. So let's see. I want to do a mic check. 1, 2, 3. How we sound? A mic check. Yeah, sounds like we're doing good. All right, cool. So let me do that. I'm going to drop Anchor here into Twitter, and I'm going to hit the Discords. So if you're catching me in the future, you know what this is all about. You can skip ahead, a minute or whatever, like usual. If you're here trapped in real time with me, hey guys. Or if you're reading this in the future, welcome to the future. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. I've been focusing attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for a number of years now. There's a slew of links in the description down below that'll lead you to different books that I've published on DMsGuild over the years. They all have extensive free previews. So you can click on the free view button to have a PDF open up. You can kick through it and see the artwork that I've done, the different kind of game design stuff that I think about to change how 5th edition works. I've been DMing for 30 some odd years. I can run a 5th level campaign, typically from level 1 to 20 in 200 to 250 hours. I'm starting out my 4th one next month with my home team. We're going to be doing some play testing for the martial power system that I develop and build sample characters for at lunchtimes during the week. We've got a Spelljammer book that we're building in the morning. I've got a lot of opinions about about adventure design and ideas and stuff like that, and I decided to filter them into an adventure of my own, just kind of put some proof in the pudding. So if you want to, if you're interested in sticking around and seeing more, I'm at Phil Kearney on the Twitter X platform. You can best way to help the team honestly is like, subscribe. Where is it? Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notifications when we're up and running. Down here is the full play test. We're at episode 189 right now. We created this book cover back around episode 40-ish, so you can jump into the Wayback Machine here and go check that out, as well as all the map assets that we've created for the 3-act adventure. It's easily enough content to take you through a couple levels. You could start at as low as 6th level if you can survive it, but it's more calibrated for kind of a stretch through 8th level into 9 or 7th, 8th, 9th level. There's a good chunk of content there for you guys that I've shown you over the course of 200 episodes, so be welcome to check it out. Let's see. Yeah, that's everything. So let's go ahead and get back into it. We're creating creature tokens, right? What is this? OBS is currently active, all streams. Are you sure you wish to exit? No, not interested in exiting at all. We're still live? You still up and running? Okay, cool. I'm off kilter tonight, apparently, so don't mind me. But yeah, when we left off, we were about to start. We had grayed down this Otyug we had created, so now I'm going to just do some quick cleanup on it before we move on to the next one. Just doing a little bit of line work here just to make sure it sits pretty. I got a nice fat fire rolling around in the background. You're going to hear it snap and pop and scream occasionally. I've got a wooden fireplace in my den. It's about 5 feet away from my computer. I absolutely adore it. 3 pixels, 2 pixels, 1 pixel, 2 pixels. There we go. What's going on with that? Let's get this squared away first. We got it there. Got it there. I really invested some time in building this last week. I don't want to fall down that tunnel again. So I got a timer going. Where's my timer? There it is. Good thing. We got a timer going to make sure. I'd like to be done with this in the next 10 minutes. But the timer is set for 20 in case I get stuck someplace. We're going to leave all the sketch art active underneath the heavier line art for when we begin blending in color. So once we get all these, once we get all the line art done for all these different creatures, we'll start doing the coloration of them all. That Spelljammer book's getting close to done, guys. We're coming along nicely on it. All this extra little line language that's going on inside of here that's not necessarily structural or is more like just scratch lines and artifacts than anything, but I feel it adds a lot of depth and activity to the sketches that I do. I haven't figured out how to reconcile the slop of my sketching, how you know, loose and rough it is, and how to square the circle with it's rough as hell, but it's voluminous. Like, it really fills in space nicely. Like one of my good sketches are pretty fucking good. They do what I want them to do. They fill space well. They leave enough to the imagination to make it worth staring at, while not being without being too complicated. I feel it's like in a really good balanced spot when I do a good sketch. But again, my anatomy is slop, my line art is sketch, and I don't quite feel like that sketchy style is a complete piece. Like, if I'm supposed to be leaning into some sort of mastery skill here, I haven't discovered it yet. So I feel like I can be, you know, better, but I don't really know what I feel like that means is being in more control, but I know that's not the truth because I don't want to micromanage these lines. I want to be able to disengage more and allow the intuition to make the decisions for me so I can appreciate what's being created instead of scrutinizing it, you know? I mean, there's going to be personal reflection and editing going on, but not during the lines. I want to be able to accomplish the task and then reflect upon the task instead of second guessing the task mid stroke, you know? So there's that layer of trust and surrender that I can still integrate into my workflow. And I think, see, I'm absolutely just choking on that chicken bone there. Choking on chicken bone. There used to be this kid on the bus. I take the bus to work, and this kid would ride the bus on the way to school. He had a backpack, and he looked like maybe 13 or 14. But he'd have his headphones on, and when I'd sit next to him, I could hear him say, "He's choking on chicken bones." like he would say that over and over again. Like anytime he'd look at somebody, and you could like see distaste on his phone, on his face, he'd say, "Choking on chicken bones." Choking on chicken bones. That's fucking hardcore. Like, what are you doing, little man? I've choked on a chicken bone before, by the way. It fucking sucked. It went down my throat and stuck sideways like this in my gullet, and oh my god, it was excruciating. It got caught in the whatever soft tissue is that floats around down there, and it just got jammed, and I was like, oh. I had to throw up 4 times. I had to force myself to throw up 4 times to be able to get the fucking thing out. It was a nightmare. And my sinuses have always felt fucked up ever since then. When I was 12, I was eating pizza with my friend, and he made me laugh so hard while I had a bite. I don't remember what he was talking about, but it was so funny. And I was halfway in the middle of swallowing a bite of pepperoni pizza, and he made me laugh so hard that the pepperoni shot up into my sinus and sat in my nostril for about 6 hours. All I could smell was spices. It was horrible. And then this chicken bone happens, and I feel like I know that size distortion is a thing when it's stuck in your throat versus looking at it, but I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. But when I coughed it up, I could swear it wasn't the whole chicken bone. And my nose felt horrible, probably from all the puking. I felt like I had a bone shard up inside my sinuses. And for years, I was like, I could swear. And then I had this black, like this just nasty, stinky booger that fell out at one point. I'm like, was that my chicken bone? And it was disgusting. It was foul. I am a broken human being. And I sympathize with anybody that whose body is wrecked them so badly. Oh my god, that fire is raging. I'll do like that. Okay, so this is what I've got coming up. We're going to get the Spelljammer book off our plate into January. That then means that this Eberron project is going to slide back into the morning. This used to be the morning project before Spelljammer caught fire, and then I was like, I gotta knock out Spelljammer as fast as I can. A year later, Spelljammer's almost done, and we get to then push this project back forward so that I'm working on it every day. That's going to really help us collapse time frames on the remaining tokens. That will spur me into making this my primary off-screen project. There's only Act 3 to finish up editing and some creature stat block edits that need to be done. And at that point, we can start dropping into page layouts. There's so many visual assets that we have already for this. I don't think I'm going to have to do a crazy amount of illustrations to make the book complete. When there are spaces that would warrant new artwork, then we get to do environmental stuff or interactions, things that hopefully will help be in positions that they're... I like the artwork I like to produce. Generally, I want to reflect what's on the page. So I'm hoping that if these things occur, that the page that the artwork needs to be on is in a place that would benefit from an illustration, like a particularly ornate room, or I don't know, man. Whatever. I don't even know what it would be. Rooms mostly, I guess. Rooms, scenes, frame, like establishing shots of different dungeon locations. Those might be good places to insert illustrations, like little environmental things to help visualize what's actually going on in these places. Since we're dealing with a manifest zone to Mabar, like having images of the manifest zone would be infinitely helpful, like thick fog and the soupiness of it and the oppression. That would be really helpful for establishing mood shots. So that's the direction I kind of want to go in, like for the town, like a distant shot of the town, the fortress, like the top side entrance, the sunken fortress. These are both the cemetery from afar. Like these are all things that would really benefit from just some establishing shots for a frame of reference. So because there's so much fog that's going on inside of the adventure that is like a literal fog of war, to limit your ability to pace and track undead that are running around inside these mists, so that the team can get flanked at any time and you can jump them with 2 or 3 different encounter options at the same time if they're strong enough to take them down. Or like the lighting conditions, or like how the water is inside of the sunken fortress, or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have this done. It's going to move. This is going to move back forward to the front in the morning project. That is, and then we'll have we're maybe 2 or 3 weeks away from having the Martial Powers playtest built out enough to start actually running the game. So I'm anticipating mid-February to start that up. Once Eberron's off the plate, so that's going to eat up probably my Monday, Thursday, or one of my Monday, Thursday, or Saturday streams. That'll disappear so that I have time in my production cycle to invest in playtesting, like actually running a game. I have my home table campaign is coming to a close, so I get to once the Eberron book is published, I get to spend time building out the basic mecha mechanics for my home table to have Gundams defending their mining vessels in the asteroid mining belt crawl that I was looking to build. So we'll build that out here on stream for folks to see how that looks, along with the mecha mechanics. We'll be running that as an E6 campaign where your characters start and stay 6th level. And we'll be accumulating resources to spend on getting access to more spells, a bigger mana pool, more weapons, rituals, broader character options, and ships and mecha and advanced weapon systems to fight the kaiju and unnatural creatures that the team is going to face. So we're going to have a lot on our plate, but we'll have once the Spelljammer book is out of the way and this is done in the mornings, we'll have the bandwidth that once the Martial Powers system is up and running, we don't need to necessarily stream stuff about that 2 or 3 times a week. It'll be more or less offline, but I can do a once a week like campaign diary about how that's coming along and my thoughts about it, and standout opportunities that have occurred, blah blah blah. But I'll be able to devote my my lunch times and my evenings to the Martial Power system, the 5-color mana spell point variant rule conversion, the mecha conversion project for Spelljammer, and a bunch of side project stuff. So I think it's whatever it is that we're doing is mostly going to be controlled by when the 2024 Player's Handbook comes out, because that is we want to make sure that the color mana system stays current with what mechanics are present in Dungeons and Dragons. So they're PDFs, so it's easy enough to update them and then reload them onto DMsGuild. But it's also an opportunity for me to reformat all those books using better page dressing and better page layout skills that I've accumulated over the past few years since initially publishing those books. It's time for them to have an update. And the 2024 rules and Martial Powers is a great excuse for me to go through that update. So that'll probably eat up the conversion, the Martial Powers, the conversion project, and Eberron Adventure will probably eat up the rest of my 2024 pretty easily. I can envision Eberron being published by July. The Martial Powers book will be finished with its playtesting, I think in June. So we'll probably have that published by September. I think the Player's Handbook is supposed to come out like maybe in May, but it could be June or even November, depending on what their timing and their book supplier is able to produce. It could be online as early as May or even March. Jesus, well, they'd be hyping it if it was going to come out in March already. So it's probably going to be May. I mean, I can see them releasing a digital version before the print is ready. I only buy books online as it is anyway. I know that I don't get to keep them, but I also don't read very easily because I'm super blind. So I'm not a subscriber to D&D Beyond, but I do buy the books because they're digital and it's easy for me to read, and I do all this production stuff. So it's a write-off for me. And if anything ever gets hanky, then I can just fall back to the Creative Commons and just use that system resource document. Just keep doing stuff. But while I can use official D&D IP, I'm going to use official D&D IP. But yeah, I'll be able to build up the Spelljammer campaign here, the Mecha book, finish up Martial Powers, finish the 5e conversion. Maybe we'll be able to pepper some more stuff in. We'll see. We'll see how the year goes, what I'm able to squeeze in. But this becomes my primary project again after Spelljammer Pubs. I'm looking forward to this. The Mouth of a Thousand Tongues. Rated R. There. That guy looks fucking great. It does look pretty great. I'm going to fix this just a touch and we'll move on to the next piece. Tap, 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 tap. Cool. All right, we'll be grooving. Let's get that garbage out of the way, out of the pool. I have a trash drawer up here. How about down here? Nope, no trash drawers. We now have a trash drawer. We did. Let's get that going again here. Boom, 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 boom. Trash. All right, so Ocheg's done. Where'd you get back here, you scallywag? That's good. Chug. All right, what we got left? Plague Oak, Sturge, Black Pudding, Plague Hounds, Assassin Vine, Shambling Mound, and Ghoul. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things left. So let's go to ye old reliable random.org. Yeah, we're still live? Yeah, we're still good. Gablar. Derp. 8 o'clock, time to rock. I've got another hour in me, at least. D7, I got a 2. All right, let's kick on down to 2. The Sturge. There you go. It's an ugly bumblebee bat, hornet, ugly thing, child, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Let's drop down the opacity on that a lot. It's pretty good. It's pretty good as, you know, as presented. I got no complaints about it. But I just want to play with the lines a little bit. That wood is just so snappy. Make it all pointy. No. Feels pretty good. Let's do another wing over here. Whoop. That feels pretty good. Yes, excellent. Snap. I bet you heard that. Snap and a hiss. Good fire. That feels pretty good. Here. I spy with my eyes some text. What's up? Anathema, welcome to the team. Hey, thanks a lot. I'm creating creature tokens for an Eberron adventure. This is it's for 5th edition. Eberron is one of the IP campaign settings to play adventures in. It's been around for about 20 years now, I guess. Not sure what its exact anniversary is, but it was around since fairly early 3rd edition. And Sturges have been around since 1st edition, way back in the 70s. There's this weird cross between a bat and a mosquito that latches onto you and extracts strength from your character until you're paralyzed and die. They're about this big each, so they get on you. Like, think of Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, kind of the same thing, but they fly around in swarms. If you haven't seen Will Ferrell's version of Land of the Lost, it is pretty goddamn funny. It's on my radar to watch again. It's been a few years, but I can feel it. I can feel it calling to me like the dinosaur taunting. There. Oh, that looks good. I like that. Yeah, Sturges for reals. You can use my token if you want, of course. But they're in the monster manual for you. They're literally in every single monster manual that has ever been published for Dungeons and Dragons. But or at least each edition. I mean, like, once it's in Monster Manual 1, it doesn't need to be in 2, 3, or 4, right? So, I mean, there's that. Cheers. But I just mean it's been in every edition. But yeah, they're fucking cool, man. They're dangerous. They'll take down a 1st level team, no problem. They can take out a 3rd level team if you have like 6 of them. They're pretty tough. But they're natural creatures. They just drink blood, so they're they're dangerous like that. But I could see gatekeepers breeding these things to attack. You know, the gatekeepers protect Eberron safe from extra dimensional threats. I could see like a Ranger Swarm Keeper that works with the gatekeepers being a swarm. As a swarm keeper ranger, having all the visuals being Sturges like this. Anyway, I'm basic. But it'd be cool because they're kind of insects. They're monstrosities, I think. Or maybe they're beasts. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't care. I think the aesthetic is cool and I'd allow it. Because flavor is free, man. Flavor's free until the player tries to gamify whatever that flavor text is, and then just kibosh, yo. This eye is off. I need a fic. I'm gonna just block that in so I can stop fucking around. I feel some tomfuckery happening here, and I'm not all about that. There we go. That worked out incredibly well. No. Down to there. I see some extra text. I'll get to you. Well, that's probably the same text from before. Never mind. I think I'm current. I'll check it just in case, but I think I'm current. Yeah, current. welcome to this. Yeah, I do. I was a freelance illustrator for small independent press publishers during the print-on-demand boom that happened in the early 2000s, and back when color was too expensive, but so there was a lot of demand for black and white, like pencil sketching and ink art. So it was fun to work on that, but I eventually got to the place where I didn't like the amount of money I was getting paid for the amount of work that I was putting into it. So I decided if this was during I got out of doing book illustrations and instead started doing personal commissions, and I stuck with that for a while until I got sick of it. And then I started looking around, and it was 5th edition at that point. I'm like, I could, if I make my own books, I can be my own art director. I can make art unique to the pages that I'm working on. I can sculpt the pages to work with the text any way I want. Let's do that. So I started creating books on DMsGuild, and it's been a joy to produce all of the custom art that goes into them. It is really... Oh, thanks. Yeah, I need to scoot this over. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen all the other shit that I've done. Here, we built this Otyug, and here's a roper that we created recently. We'll color all this stuff when we get to it. Here's a white that we created. This is a Shadow Mastiff. We'll blacken him up and make it all sulfury. Here's a Revenant. You can pause all these on your own if you want. A Long Dead, which is a type of a crystal encrusted skeleton. Not much different from Revenant, but the coloration should be good. A Living Grave. This is like it's an ooze swarm of undead that it just spits out new zombies and ghouls and skeletons occasionally. And if you put it in water, you can't see the bottom of it, so you don't know how many corpses are actually in it. So you have to have characters wade in to go kill it and stab at it, to drop it down to 0 hit points so it stops generating monsters. And since the manifest zone of Mabar that they're in is thick, soupy, sort of like clingy fog, you have a literal fog of war, so you can't see. Like, you can just spawn undead at your team on the battle map until they hunt down, like they track back where that undead is coming from. They'll find like a rift in the ground or a bog or like a sunken grave where undead are crawling out of, and that's your monster generator. So you can go in there, you can just clean that up. Otherwise, you'll have a steady stream of whatever frequency feels appropriate to you as a DM pacing your team. You can kick undead at different CR and different frequency to harass the team from being able to have any kind of peace. Here's a freshly dead bloated. It's full of this poisonous stink fungus. If you hit it with any kind of a weapon, it bursts, and it releases the stinking cloud spell effect that makes you lose your actions while you throw up. So the undead isn't harmed. It's like a minion that you hit it once and it pops, and then it penalizes you, and then it becomes one of these long dead. This is like after all the flesh is sloughed off of the fresh dead, it becomes this, and then it just keeps attacking you. Living Grave, fresh dead. This is a drowned assassin that has got a bunch of barnacle and mushrooms and stuff growing all over it. Bow Knight. This is one of the mini bosses that is in charge. That's the mini boss for the cemetery that the team can find. And here's a Barghest, which is... Well, Barghests are like shape-changing demon dogs. I have to fix his leg here real quick. Yeah, I do a real additive reductive style of sketching that I'll just dump a bunch of pixels onto the page, and then I'll carve out negative space from it with the eraser. So I'll bounce back and forth between erasing and adding lines to create little filigree and little details and like bobbles and odds and ends. Like Wayne Reynolds, I really admire his ability to equip characters, right? He has a whole bunch of really cool incidental stuff and is really good with filigree, like little incidental decor on belts and pouches and sword hilts and shit like that. I'd say Wayne Reynolds, Larry Elmore, Jeff Easley, Clyde Caldwell, and Keith Parkinson and Michael Whalen are my favoriteest artists. Though Jesper Ensing is damn good. I admire me some Jesper. He's good stuff. But those earlier artists are what I really studied a lot when I was in my teens. Oh, I think there's some text happening here. What's up, gnarly? Cheers. So yeah, on Mondays and Thursdays like this, I do the Eberron art like this, and then on Monday through Friday in the morning, I do this type of stuff for the Spelljammer book that we've been building. And but the Spelljammer book should be publishing at the end of the month, so this will become our morning project, and we'll be able to start collapsing time frames on this one very, very quickly. And then when we finish the Martial Powers playtesting, we'll do the layouts and all the artwork for that book in there too. I build a book, and while it's sent off to the editors for initial scans, that's when I tend to do the book cover. So I can get the book cover out of the way first and have it as basically like a marketing tool. Hey, this thing's coming, so keep an eye out for it. And then from there, I can start doing maps and token assets while it's going through the editing process. And once it comes back from editing, then I can do page layouts. And once all the little you can see this every morning when I do Spelljammer. I walk through the process like as part of my intro spiel. Like, here's me creating a book. Here's how I do the page layouts. Here's how we drop artwork into the page layouts. Here's an empty page. Well, let's put some artwork in it, and then I get to work. You know, that's basically how the morning cascades. And I'll be doing that same. I'll have that same spiel with this once we get the layouts taken care of for the adventure here. And again, it'll be the same spiel once I start working on the Martial Powers book. There, that feels right. I like that. So I'm going to stitch this guy shut because I'm not actually supposed to be working on him right now. I'm supposed to be working on the Theurgy, yo. You got me monologuing, you sly dog. Yeah, right on. Yeah, see you around. Cheers. This heart keeps getting in the way. Yeah, thanks for swinging by. Thanks for the love. Later, Gator. Snap goes the fire. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'm certain that you can. I love fire. That little man loves fire. Thank you. I have that alarm set, so if I fall into a tangent like that, I can escape it within a reasonable time frame. In case I get into a tangent talking about something, it gives me a chance to check myself to make sure I'm not just completely getting myself deleted. And artwork, it helps make sure that I don't fall into a tangent of something that's not productive, or I can assess, am I hiding from what I'm actually supposed to be doing right now and procrastinating by pushing pixels around meaninglessly, or is this part of the bigger actual picture that I need to be working on this? And so I can do that assessment every now and again, every 20 minutes actually, because it's a 20-minute timer on my clock. It helps break up my time to make sure that I'm working efficiently. Figuring out my structure. Just like that. Snap goes the fire. Pop goes the lumber. We're now on page 14 of 23 for the Light of Xeraxis conversion. That's the second appendix in the Spelljammer book. So that is definitely coming along. We're going to be ending the month. We should be finishing up artwork for system map, for the random system generator artwork. probably by the 16th. No, 18th. I'm thinking the 18th. Yeah, that's a good 10 days from now. I think we'll be done by then. And then we'll spend the rest of the time populating the Lazaraxis appendix. So we're currently working on the first appendix, random system generators. And then we'll work on the second appendix, which is Lazaraxis. We're getting the page layouts and stuff placement taken care of. But we actually have to drop the token, ship, and map assets into the pages, like graphics layout style, which will be a lighter production process. It won't be raw art. It'll be production work. Nope, I don't like it that thorough. I liked it more ambiguous like that. That felt better. Let's smudge that up a bit. That looks good. Nope. Like that. Good. Oh, that feels really good. That guy is cool as shit, man. I'm gonna shift this tardigrade-like arm down a little bit here to be able to create some more space to define the silhouette a little bit more cleanly. But yeah, I knew this wasn't going to be a very heavy lift. I just didn't realize it'd be this quick. I am very happy about that. We're actually making ground today instead of feeling like we're falling behind. And that's amazeballs. So we'll just drop this guy up here, X. Yeah, he looks cool. That's fucking cool. I'll get that out of the way. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 left, so let's go to ye old random.org. Random.org. Random. 1 to 6. Bing, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. 4. Assassin Vine. All right, buddy. Jesus, you're just a. All right, so we got a branch and we got vines on the branch. I know it's not very exciting, but it is. Hey, that's Hollywood. So I guess what? Move like we have a purpose? Does that make sense? Let's do what Donnie Don't does. Painting over my own stuff feels like production work. I hate production work. I am not into it unless it's part of a page layout, like doing like like product text and like organizing product pages and building packaging. I have not had a good relationship with that with that particular aspect of business like in ever, and it's legitimately holding me back. Like if I don't like doing product packaging, then I'm unwilling to actually put product out. So it's a problem. The problem with product placement, production. Put on the Reds. Super duper. We'll figure it out someday. Just wait and see. We'll figure it out. I guess I did do that. Okay, so yeah, we want to definitely finish this branch first, so we know how to sensibly set. Like, so when we do the redo for the vine itself, then we'll have more clear like anatomy of what the branch is to properly wrap the vine around. Lunch on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, generally speaking, are martial power production days, where right now we're building out sample characters and just walking through the process of building martial characters using the martial power system that we developed, and just familiarizing myself with the process and prep, building just these like prep characters for. In case your character dies during the playtest, here just grab this one and just keep going. You know, like the characters aren't important; the test is. So the more like RNG-ish we build it, the better off I think the campaign's going to end up serving the playtest needs. It'll just be random shit. We can have some story continuity, but the story is kind of self-contained of basically escort missioning a bunch of non-coms across a wasteland that you're being attacked randomly by different monsters depending on what terrain it is that you're occupying at the moment. So it's a pretty basic setup, but it's a good setup to be able to, playtest anew. New character features. Especially when we have so many of them. Jesus, we have so many. It's a lot of subclasses. D&D. Some more time frames here real quick. Oh my god, there's so much branch. Why so much tree? I've never met a Groot. Boom. People just blowing up stuff out in the alleyway. Kids be good. No. Nope. Hey, what do you got going on over there? Whoa, that fire's tipping over. Hold on, I gotta step away for a hot second. My fire's trying to catch my house on fire. I can't let it do that. That's out of bounds, pal. You're gonna have to straighten up and fly right, mister. Get in there, you scallywag. gonna drop a big old brick on it. This is the piece of firewood we're going to use for our fire currently. Ah, burn Babylon, burn! So much great heat coming off of that fire. I love it. Ah, let's take a sip to maintain hydration. Bunga ba ba bunga ginga ba dunga dicka ba ba bunga dinga go bunga dicka ba ba. Out the other. Feels legit. You always want to be thickening. You can't have a point further out on the branch thicker than a point further in. It always gets smaller, tapers off, always tapering off. Holy Hannah. Holy hibiscus. Where do we go from here, huh? Number one answer on the board. The way to hell is right here. How are we doing on time? Okay, we'll make this our last 20-minute stretch. I get that straightened away a bit. I like how that branch is bending in there. It's going to thicken up like this. I feel like this should be a little smaller. That feels pretty good. Let's keep at it. Let's keep on building, Kearney. You'll get it all done. It's already all happened. You're just remembering it one moment at a time. Just let it flow back into existence and appreciate the process. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just remain smooth and true to yourself. Yeah, that's a good fire. There we go, like that. That feels good. Just like that. That works good. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna press save because I saw my screen flash weird. Yeah, okay, that's how it does. I don't hate this. That is for sure. Has to only be just a little bit thicker, but it has to be thicker as we move further down the branch towards the trunk. It's required to be thicker. So I'm figuring out how thick do I want thick to be. How thick is a brick, after all? Thinning down as it sweeps up. Too much symmetry going on here. I need to break that. That feels better. I feel a lot better. I like that. That feels pretty good. There we go. All right, we're going to pump the brakes here. As soon as the muse lets me go, we'll call it a day. I'm going to be back in the morning. We're going to do some more Spelljammer art. And at lunchtime, we'll do a Golgari Swarmkeeper Ranger for the martial power system. That's going to be fun as hell. This is off. Hold on. I found an off thing. That feels pretty good. I like that. That's really, really cool. Okay, we're just going to let that sit for now. When we come back, we're going to put the vine in. See, we gotta rework the vines because we moved the lines around. We moved the vines. We gotta rework the line. We moved the lines. We must rework the vines. Trash. I'll drop that down to gray. And that leaves the Assassin Vine open for us to mess around with. All right, so that's it, guys. We'll go ahead and bounce out of here for the night. Hope to catch some of you guys on the other side. Like I said, I stream 6 days a week, and I publish something on Sunday that's pre-recorded and packaged for you guys. If you want to stay in touch with what's going on, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You're welcome to join my Discord channel if you want. That's up and running. We're doing playtesting for the martial power system, and you can check out all this crap and do everything you want with me. I will see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot. Later.